Hello, everyone. I'm recording round two of our tournament, of the OKORINA tournament, where you get to play as a unique connection or an agenda, depending on whether you're corp or runner. Round one got lost to a bunch of stream issues. Hopefully, this recording goes well. If it doesn't, then I guess you had to be there. Anyway, people are getting all ready. Once most of the tables are set up, once most of the tables are set up, we'll get going. And so far, we've had exciting first round. We had a lot of corp splits, which is I think this format is a little bit corp favored, so that's kind of exciting. It's a shame that these aren't color coded. Unfortunately, when you type in, it does not know that Cyberdeck Sandbox Jinteki Solutions is a Jinteki thing, so you can't really see how the different factions are doing. But we got a Apex over here. We got a Jinteki, some Atom. All right. Looks like most people are ready. I'm going to start the timer. All right, so what should we watch? I think let's watch, let's see. Let's try and catch, we saw Fictional last time. Let's see what Apex is up to. So we have firmware updates against Rachel Beckman. Firmware updates means that the corp gets free advancement tokens to put out in the wild. Rachel Beckman is an Apex ID. Unlike normal Apex, she does not have the restriction that she cannot make friends in real life. She canonically made friends with Nasir, and if you can be friends with him, you can be friends with anyone. Now, she does have the ability that she gets trash if she's tagged, and in this format, if you are trash, it means your identity gets blanked. Let's start streaming too. What's the worst that can happen? Everything gets lagged to heck is the real answer. But so we are mid game. Firmware updates has used up their ability. They got 3 free counters, and this ability is now blank. Though it is a pretty efficient thing to do, which is so they start basically their idea is that they get to have a super ice in front of HQ. Curious to know what it is. There's some cool synergies here that Apex doesn't, with Apex cards that Apex usually doesn't get access to. Wasteland triggering off daily cast trashing itself. Pretty sweet. Now, Rachel Beckman has a little bit less influence than most other corps, or a little bit less influence than Apex. I believe they have 18 influence, which is pretty restrictive for a faction that doesn't have any in-faction icebreakers and has a pretty narrow card pool of in-faction stuff. But so here we see CityWorks push. The credit totals are pretty even, so wouldn't be surprised if you know, when you ever see a CityWorks project, you worry about punitive Counter-Strike. One of the interesting things is that the Apex faction has access to one of the best damage prevention cards in the game that's currently legal, I think, in Heartbeat. It's just a nice, efficient little console that 2 to install, gives you a mute, but also just means that you're very unlikely to die as long as you have cards on the table. Which I know with this format, we were worried about, some people were worried about seeing a lot of the cleaners. And we do have some amount of the cleaners, so it's pretty nice to not have to worry about the cleaners. If you have now, I forget if exactly how the cleaners is worded, whether Heartbeat would prevent all the damage if by just trashing one card. I think it wouldn't. I think you do have 2. Anyway, Heartbeat's not installed, so why are we sweating it? Aesop plus Wasteland is going to gain a bunch of money. Lucidit is going to really start jumping forward in credits pretty soon, and so Meeting Adjourned with his firmware updates deck has some pressure to keep things going fast, keep the tempo up, keep Apex's best friend here, Rachel Beckman, doing work. Corroder out, probably 1 influence less than Paperclip, something that you might have to do when you're dealing with just 18 influence in the Apex faction. And it is a little bit expensive to go through a Musvingo, though worth it for this Atlas. Hunting Grounds comes out. Unsure what this is going to be done, how much you're going to get out of the when encountered ability, but Hunting Grounds has this extra ability that lets you just get 3 free face downs for just 2 credits. And Rachel Beckman here, the Acolyte of Apex, can really turn those face down cards into money with the help of our friend Aesop. So I think obviously Rachel Beckman's ability to have 5 clicks is pretty great, but another really powerful thing that that Rachel and Apex have access to is that Rachel Beckman has access to the Apex faction cards without the Apex ID, and as nice as it is to install a card face down at the beginning of your turn as Apex, not being able to make friends with non-virtual resources is really limiting for Apex, and we're seeing how Rachel's economy is a lot more efficient than Apex, who is usually poor as molasses, as the saying goes. Oh, it sounds like we have good quality now. That's interesting. So I think I know what the issue was. That's neat. That's awesome. Heartbeat coming down, making Apex a little. Oh, fascinating. So a very exciting install. We got Assimilator. Now, Assimilator is a little bit less great with Rachel Beckman than Apex, because Apex can put those cards face down. But we already saw 2 cards put face down by Hunting Grounds, and we also have access to Reboot in faction, so Assimilator can get some cool stuff for free. In terms of how this game is going, Meeting Adjourned has 4 points, and right now is just trying to figure out how they can get their last points out. I have a very exciting install advance no res. This looks a little bit like an NGO, but it might be just some scary thing. This would be absolutely wild if this was just a 5-3 that Meeting Adjourned put on the table, thinking that with all these clicks, Rachel Beckman would not have time to go check it. And I think correctly, Rachel is doing what she can to is respecting that being a 5/3. Now we see Reboot here, and Reboot is going to put some cards face down. Any of those could be flipped by Assimilator, assuming they are installables. Assimilator could flip a Hunting Grounds, which would get 3 new face downs, which is pretty fascinating in terms of efficiency. Having Rachel Beckman here also just makes Assimilator a little less painful, because it's a pretty painful ability, spending 2 clicks to get a Hunting Grounds. But basically this will be 2 clicks to gain 3 face down cards. Kind of a neat thing that you can do. So I think the issue was with the stream is that I had it on a different monitor that had a really high resolution, and that was just doing wonky things. It was just processing more bits than it needed to. But please do let me know if there's future tech issues, because like I said, I'm a novice streamer. Hopefully I can get my audience back. We had a nice little crowd before. Ultimately, it's not a big deal. My main goal here is running a nice smooth tournament, and hopefully it's going smooth. I am loving seeing this Rachel Beckman deck in action. Unfortunately, Assimilator does not work with these cards, Earthrise Hotel and such. Those are just going to be fodder for Aesop. But Rachel has things to sell to Aesop forever, which means they're just going to get 4 clicks at the beginning of the turn. They're going to get 5 credits at the beginning of every turn. That is some sick money. In terms of breakers, they do have their decoder, they do have their killer. They are lacking a decoder right now. It looks like, but yeah, it looks like Meeting Adjourn is able to fast advance out this City Works, and that is going to be the game. Shame that this money was not able to turn into a victory over here, but wonderful job sort of finding the early scoring windows to get up to 4 points to put themselves in range of closing out the game here. Nice play by Meeting Adjourned. I am excited about that Rachel list. Hopefully we can catch it again. I'm going to try and show you a lot of different IDs in this format because it's pretty exciting. All right, so these are not we do not have Titan versus Null. Who we really have are, let's find out, Donut Taganes and another firmware updates. Oh, cool. Oh, that's amazing. Now, Donut Taganes. One of the things with Donut Taganes is that the art for Donut Taganes is based on the art of this very cool and actually really pleasant person in terms of interactions that I think I and the community have had with him. The art is based on an FFG employee, and we were having some trouble figuring out exactly what faction. Rats. I'm having some. We're having some issues figuring out exactly what faction Donut should be in, and so we asked, and Jaffer, the person I'm referencing, had a oh, somebody asking about the the new backs. That is actually a new thing as of today. A new Jinteki thing. They're trying to use less FFG properties, or I think, and so they're using the Nisei card backs. That's new as of today. So yeah, kind of neat. Oh, good point. Let's see if I can get my face back on here, because I think we are. I don't think we have the same issue. Yeah, I can get myself back on here. I don't think I'm that important to the game, but yeah, here I am. Hello. Got my Ghost Branch shirt on, representing the Delaware meta. Oh, scroll down chat. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Matthias Kazura, oh, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but you've been really helpful in terms of helping me troubleshoot what's going on here. I really appreciate it. In terms of what we're seeing for this firmware updates, we're seeing Anson Rose, favorite card of mine, and they are also all about putting advancement tokens. The way that works is that when the runner encounters an ice, you can decide to take any of those tokens and put them on there. So it's almost like they have double firmware updates now. Pretty sweet. One interesting thing you see here is that Lucidit is playing their firmware updates a little bit differently than Meeting Adjourned was. They're holding on to those tokens. What exactly their plan is, it's a little bit of a mystery that we are going to hopefully see unfold over the course of this game. Oh, it started lagging now? All right, maybe my face has got to go. Yeah, all right. I don't think I'm worth it. All right. Man, streaming's hard. I am also recording this, and hopefully the recording is going to go just fine. We are seeing a really impressive resource-based economy out of Donut Taganes. What you'd expect, really, because Donut makes operations and events cost more. Let's see if we've seen any events. We've seen I've Had Worse from Donut, which of course you can use the alternate ability on I've Had Worse for free, even if you are Donut. And in a pinch, you can pay 2 to gain 3. We're also seeing some card draw in the form of Sports Hopper. It looks like Meeting Adjourned put in a lot of anti-cleaners tech here. A lot of meat damage prevention and mitigation. Or actually just mitigation here. You can also hit I've Had Worse with 0. That still works just fine. I assume Donut is probably still on Stim Hack, because paying 1 to gain 9 is still pretty good efficiency. Now we're seeing Aket here because of Anson Rose. Anson Rose can put 3 counters on Aket right now to make it all the more powerful, and that's just going to put even more counters out there. Now, is Lucidit opting to put any Anson Rose counters on there? I'd be surprised if they didn't. Yeah, there we go. I'm also a little surprised they put all 5. Does that have to be all of them? Yeah, all right. They put all 5 there. I guess one nice thing about that is that now those counters are safe. This Aket, when it has 3 counters on it, is very difficult to hippo. Basically impossible, because you only break one of the subroutines. And so what that means is that you, you can't hippo it because you can only break one subroutine. Presumably, this firmware updates deck is interested in doing the same thing that we saw the other firmware updates deck do, which is launching a big Red Planet Couriers. Can I full screen? Yeah. Should be full screen. Is that better? I think it's better without that. All right. Checking in on Discord. We have about 51 minutes left in the round. We are seeing some fun stuff here. Full Immersion Rec Studio. I was in a conversation with some other Netrunner people complaining that there weren't any more daemons in the game, cards that host programs that host other programs. But who needs a daemon when you have a Corp daemon here? Full Immersion Rec Studio lets you install other cards on it, assets or agendas, and Full Immersion Rec Studio, of course, if you trash it, everything on it comes tumbling down, but its trash cost goes up for every card on it. Now, of course, you can put a Full Immersion Rec Studio on another Full Immersion Rec Studio if you feel so inclined. It's not unique. You can play as a bunch of those. You can even put a World's Plaza on there and really stack things to the moon. I actually missed what was happening to Anson Rose, so hopefully if you were wondering what happened to Anson Rose, you saw that, because I don't know. Presumably they came in and trashed it. Or, it's also possible they installed Full Immersion Rec Studio over Anson Rose. At the moment, another card going up on Full Immersion Rec Studio. The trash cost of Full Immersion Rec Studio is now 9. And firmware updates has placed its last counter. We got some good efficiency out of this, allowing Lucidit to res a cheap Nebula, putting a counter here for whatever terrifying purpose it's going to have. We are seeing some really efficient ice here. It's a shame that this Socket doesn't have just one more counter. The moment Meeting Adjourned decides to hit this Socket, the advancements are going to start going all over the place. Though at the moment, it's just a measly 2 credits to Stargate through. We see some other fun advanceable ice cards. Ice Wall, classic. Colossus, delightful card that Nisei brought back. And Priority Construction, which we saw in the first round, which just really efficiently puts those counters out. One thing that we have not seen so much of is how much this donut ability, or actually we have seen, I just haven't been paying attention. One thing that I have not been paying attention to is how much this donut ability has been painful. Certainly mass commercialization, if you're going to gain 1 million, you don't mind paying 1. But IPO only gaining you 4 credits with a threshold of 9 is a lot. It's a big deal. I think you're also probably perfectly happy to pay 2 to priority construction. That's saving you a lot of money. But still, those adds up. Oh, sorry, I haven't been keeping that close chat with chat. Yeah, bookkeeper. Anything that trashes itself or forfeits itself in this format, if that would happen, the ID is blanked for the rest of the game. So divested trust, you can only use it once. We did have some people play divested trust to good effect. It's a scary thing to just guarantee you start the game with that divested trust ability. Especially if you fill your deck with stuff like SDS drone deployment, which trashes a program when you steal it, and rudely just taking it back. Oh, did I miss a judge call? I did. All right, so all right, so we are seeing another Stargate run. This time, Akhed is at full strength, so Lucidit is going to get a free credit and a free advancement, which just feels great for when the runner is wrecking you. Now this Akhed advancement is like the Tenon ability, where you can put it on anything. You could advance this 0 if you wanted. One of the things that my beautiful tournament attendees are dealing with is the fact that JNet is a little bit buggy right now. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, it sounds like everybody's having some tough tech issues with this. Maybe for next round, all right, so everyone has a 5-minute time extension to help deal with JNet issues. So obviously, I would never say anything against this beautiful, beautiful program that allows us to even have these tournaments. One of the best things about it is, oh, rats. Nice. One of the best things about it is we got this new command to replace your ID with these cards, which makes everything go so much smoother, I think. So this is still any person's game. The fact that Meeting Adjourn has a decent economy and all these tokens is pretty scary, though Lucidit is clearly building up to something, whether that's some kind of wacky government takeover shenanigan, or I guess that's probably the main thing we're worried about, or a mass commercialization into double punitive. The fact that they're on 0 agenda points is not good, but you certainly you certainly are wary. And I think meeting adjourned is keeping that in mind, where they're saying, look, I am going to try and get a bunch of accesses right now, just try and close the game. And they just get Project Atlas for their troubles, which is not so big of a deal. We don't quite know what this card is that has 3 advancements on it. And we don't really know what Lucidit's agenda suite is. Are they on government takeover? All right, yeah. So because of the JNUT issues, oh man, I'm missing the best stuff. Missing a high-risk investment, which really makes you worry about the punitive Counter-Strike plan. This card is beautiful. Also a playable ID in this format. I think people haven't opted for it, though it's a pretty powerful thing. The video froze again? Rats, what's the deal? How long has the video been frozen, I wonder? Oh, you're in turn 7? Oh, yikes. Sounds like we've been paused for a while, so what's the deal? It's curious that this seems to, like, it was going fine and now it's not. I don't know why that would be. It's unfortunate. We are recording too, so shouldn't this be saying I'm dropping frames or something? It's curious what's happening. What if I remove this? Remove this. And what if I additionally remove this? And what if I I'm going to restart the stream and see if that helps as well. Might as well reset midstream if y'all can't see anything. All right, so we are back. Hopefully, we're back. I don't know if y'all can see this, but we are mid wanton destruction run. Some terrible things are going to happen. Interesting, we saw a wanton destruction run for just 2 cards. I think Meeting Adjourn really was worried about what Lucidit was going to do with these extra, with all these counters and stuff. Especially if they see a biotic labor here. Pad tap hedge fund. Look at how pitiful this is against Donut. With 2 pad taps, they are gaining 3 credits. They're giving the runner 2 credits. Though, of course, high risk investment means giving them money is making you money. We see a 1 Oaktown renovation in the trash because of the wanton destruction. It looks like they also got a asteroid belt with that hit. So I don't know if anybody's like a stream expert. Why it would be good for a while and then go bad, I have no idea. I guess if it means I just need to keep on refreshing the stream, that's definitely a suboptimal outcome or suboptimal solution, but we can just keep on restarting the stream. That's fine. And again, thank you so much for helping me troubleshoot this. I think after the tournament, I can sort of look into more impressive solutions and figuring out why things are happening the way they're happening. But in the meantime, yeah, we can just keep on resetting things as they go to trash. Rashida Jahim, a little bit less painful than the hedge fund. Lucidit has a bunch of money. Oh, another thing that I totally missed. What happened to all their cards? Nothing, I guess. So Lucidit is having some, understandably having a tough time with full immersion Rec Studio. If you install on the server, it's going to say, hey, do you want to trash all that stuff? You don't want that. You want to install with full immersion Rec Studio. I assume. I barely played this card. Now, this is an exciting install. You would think Meeting Adjourned can get in here. It's possible that they are, and with the Citadel Sanctuary, they should be able to survive most terrifying things that Lucidit could do, but maybe not, because they could double punitive them pretty easily. Like a high-risk investment into double punitive should land. I think Meeting Adjourned has been playing against this pretty cleverly in terms of knowing that Lucidit could strike with some terrifying thing at any time. With all these advancement tokens. So they are getting a lot of accesses when they can, but they're also trying to be safe. It's a tough situation. I guess one thing that is notable that when they're on 6 points, I guess the punitive threat is actually off the table. So ignore my keen observation that Lucidit should be able to double punitive them. Oh, another full immersion Rec Studio and priority construction. Meeting Adjourned opting not to trash the full immersion Rec Studio, even though they could install the full immersion Rec Studio on the full immersion Rec Studio, and then what a world it would be. So very exciting. We have an SDS deployment trash of Adore, which means that sentries are now alive. Of course, Lucida doesn't have any end the run sentries. They do have end the run code gates though, so at least on this server they do. This Mausolus is looking terrifying. And that probably explains why Meeting Adjourned didn't go for this server, even though there was an advanced card, because they probably just figured the chances of it actually working out is pretty low. Do we have a Black Orchestra in the bin? We don't. We have an Angolo in the trash. 2 Angolos in the trash. It is actually possible that Meeting Adjourned has been locked out for quite a while. All right, I'm going to reset the stream because it sounds like we're lagging. All right, so we should be back. This is a bit of a nail biter because Meeting Adjourned just needs one more access. They are going to opt to just run through this nebula, let it trash a program. So they are actually getting they're turning wheeling here. Oh, that's fascinating. So they're using their money to make sure that they do not get this. Actually, I don't understand this line because they could just run into it if they're ending the run. I don't know why, but it looks like Lucidit is going to score this STS drone deployment, which Aket enabled them to score 1 turn early. Yikes! So that is the game. We have Corp split here on this table. Exciting. Oh, I guess I missed that question. That was pretty cool. That was probably a pretty exciting question. Let's see what Analyze, Chris, and Arizon are up to. I'm going to check time in the round. We have 28 minutes left in the round. I wonder if this is an issue with my... I mean, it's an issue with my computer. Who knows what exactly is going on, though. Oh, this thing encoding overloaded. Consider turning down bitrate. All right, so I think, all right, I did something else which might help. We'll find out. No, it did not. Let's see. Now let's do some data entry while we wait. This is what Netrunner is all about. Data entry. We got that one. All right. Corp split on table 4. Yeah, I'm just having some issues with JNet right now, so why? So we're doing data entry instead. If you happen to be running a online tournament, I really highly recommend Google Forms and to get your data entry so that you don't have results piling up. Oh, number 6, table 6. Oh, corp split. Cool. We just saw that. Okay. So let's see what games are still up. Looks like we have 4 games left to resolve. 3 games left to resolve. It looks like I'm missing data for one of them. No sweat. Table 1, 7, and 9. All right, so I'm still missing Fictional and Captain Nice. Oh, it just came in. I swept Fictional. Oh, nice. Okay. All right, let's go check out a game if we can. Oh, what if I leave this here, is it better? Right now I can't enter a game, which is troublesome. We only have 3 games left this round. We might even finish a little fast. Yeah, just 2 games left. That's pretty sweet. Be great if we could go into one of these games and watch it. All right. Yeah, I know. Well, at least that means that. Yeah, you see in the Discord is fine. That is an annoying thing that OBS does if you are using window capture, which maybe isn't what I should be using. If you're capturing just the window to broadcast it, and then you close that window, it just tries to find the next window, and I assume there's some way to fix that. But so now we're having an issue where I am not able to join a game. So that is tricky. And I wonder if that is because I'm doing all this. I guess the nice thing about, if you can see my Discord talks, you saw my forlornness about how the stream's going. Anyway, I do recommend playing in the tournament because then you can see your own game. I think it's been going. I think the tournament's going pretty well, besides the tough stuff with JNet. All right. back to OBS thinking that my Discord is what's worth watching. Let's see if restarting this helps. All right. Just want to watch some Cyberdeck Sandbox in action. We haven't actually seen any Cyberdecks yet, which is disappointing because there's a lot of Cyberdecks in this tournament. So a little bit surprising that we've not seen that yet. All right, I think I'm going to stop recording this round. Hopefully I can figure out how to trim this. And I'll start recording the next round because yeah.